Hello, welcome to our second demo on Open Objects, and this time we are going to wire up an MVC application with Shape. I've chosen the ASP.NET template for MVC, and I am installing the Shape NuGet package, and you can see up there the auto refresh feature that we will talk in a moment. And now let us just check that everything is okay with the template, the navigation, everything is fine and dandy. So now we need an entry point where we can hook up our shape to the MVC runtime, and as expected, that entry point is an IOC container. I have pre-installed AutoFAC, and now I'm going to do the basic plumbing that we need to do when you need to hook up IOC container with MVC. This has nothing to do with shape, but I'm showing here for the matter. We need to hook up a default controller factory, and then we need to pass our container for this controller factory for our controllers to be resolved. The point of junction between MVC and shape, it's the container. You will see that when we tell the container to resolve an instance that implements the iController type, we'll use a factory method for that matter, and that factory method, it's that object where you saw on the other demo the shape object. Okay, it's on this AutoFAC config class that will do the plumbing necessary to hook up shape to the container and inherently by the MVC runtime. Now register our home controller on the container. And as I've mentioned, we will pass the shape object as a factory for resolving home controllers. Whenever the container will resolve a home controller, it will forcefully pass by our shape object method. And the shape object method will return an open object, okay? An open object of home controller. And that's where the magic happens. Before going to the controller, let us just pass for the global ASAX file and add a line for shape to configure itself automatically. This has to do with logging and other settings that you can check out on our wiki. And now we are going to instantiate the controller factory and pass it to the MVC runtime. We go to our controller and we add the shape attribute namespace. We will now execute. We will push Visual Studio to one side and the browser to the other. Just to remind you that we have the shape auto refresh feature, and we have chosen Chrome to auto refresh automatically on save. This is a huge productivity tool, as you will see. I am typing in real time, I'm changing the controller, I press save, and look what happens. The browser is reflecting the changes. I didn't have to stop and recompile the application. I can be much more faster. So I will go to the views and I will make some changes. And I will go to the controller and put another message on the view bag that the view will reflect. As you can see, I have never stopped. IIS is still running and we are working, and we don't need to recompile the application. This is real-time developer productivity. I don't even have to do a refresh on the browser because Shape will handle that for me. I just have to type, press save, and the browser will refresh it. And this, as you saw on the first demo, it's the exactly same behavior that we had on the console. We can have all these behaviors on every .NET project type. This is great. Now let's try to change the about action method. See, I am changing. I changed the message to really, and now I'm going to change it completely to return a string instead of a view. I will press save, and here we go. The first part of this demo is almost done. We will continue to evolve this web application and adding more behaviors and on the subsequent demos. I just want to draw your attention to what I'm doing now. is that I'm changing the home controller signature. I'm adding a new action method and I'm adding a new view. I still have the application running. I am not recompiling the application with Visual Studio with Control Shift B, and I will call it on Chrome and everything will work. How about it?